Everyone, it's Transgender Podcast time again.
Woo!
Woo! I'm Chelsea still.
Come on, grab your friends. I'm Charlotte. Hello.
You're still Charlotte.
I'm still Charlotte. Still 21, and I'm a trans woman. I'm a demigirl. I'm a non-binary trans woman, and welcome.
Yeah, and I'm still 26. Those, more days old, but I haven't ticked over the age number yet.
Shuffling the mortal coil.
Yeah, we're all heading towards... Anyway, let's keep things light. That was
dark.
Unnecessarily dark.
So we've got guests today.
As usual, yeah.
Clockwise again, we've got Amari.
I'm Amari. I'm 19-year-old trans AFAB. I don't know. I'm somewhat mask. I don't know exactly what I am. Just non-binary.
Mm-hmm. And we have Kate.
I'm Kate again. I'm 21. Non-binary trans mask.
Cool. This is the podcast. Welcome everyone. Today's episode, as you know from the title, is what is it? It's about making friendships.
Making mates.
Making mates.
All about making mates when you're trans.
Is that like Makin as in the place in the US, or like making?
No, it's making.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
No, nothing to... Sorry all our Makin listeners. That's... You're not special.
So we have a mailbag, and we actually have some things to talk about.
I'm excited.
So the first one is... just reading it now, actually. Hey, to Asher, thank you so much for your message. And it's about how we pronounce the word, what we say is Asperger's. I think maybe that is technically wrong, Charlotte. Do you know what that is?
I mean, that's just sort of what I say with my Australian accent. Everyone I know with an autism spectrum disorder says it as Asperger's. So,
Yeah, it's a dialectual thing, yeah.
I say Asperger's.
Yeah.
You say Asperger's?
Yes.
That's weird.
And you corrected me on it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You watch American television.
Isn't it like a aluminium
It could
type
be.
deal?
It really could be.
Although that's a different spelling as well.
No, it's not. Is
No,
it?
Yeah.
aluminum actually misses an I. Like, it'd be very weird if they were just pronouncing aluminum.
Would it?
Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. Why did they drop that letter off? I mean, look, Wikipedia still has aluminium, so...
Wikipedia knows what international English is.
Yeah, thank you,
Good job,
Wikipedia. Great work.
All of our American listeners, you spell things wrong, and we are sorry. We are very sorry.
And again, thanks again, Asher, for your message. And yes, it did come through eventually. It was working.
So our next submission?
Yeah. Hey, Tim, thank you for your message as well. We're really sorry that we made you lose in Risk of Rain.
Too much laughing.
With too much laughing. But you know what? We hope we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Hope we're entertaining enough.
We really like your suffering. It's really entertaining to us, 10
out of 10 would make lose at roguelikes again. We got one new one that I haven't even read.
Oh,
it just came through 11 hours ago.
2:30 a.m.
Yeah. Did you want to do this one, Sean?
I can do this one. This one, we've got one from Kara. Hi, Kara. Kara has suggesting a topic and volunteering to be on the podcast. What is the topic? I'm scanning and I can't.
As a suggestion to speak about gender expression and how it's
there
separate
it is. Yes.
from gender identity. And yeah, this is definitely something really important. We've brought it up previously, I think, a little bit on the show because I myself aren't like super femme all the time.
Butch as fuck.
Sometimes, yeah. I don't even know if I actually identify as butch so much as like just like tomboy-ish, I guess. Yeah. Somewhat femme sometimes. And yeah, you know what? We could do an entire episode on it. So thank you so much for your email and
like just because of how Skype works, and we've tried a bit. Like I've tried a bit with Skype to try and see what the audio quality is like. If we are not full up on guests, I will definitely contact you. But if we are, then we have a much better quality of an episode just doing with our friends. So like I hope you get to be on the episode, but I also hope we have great quality audio. So it's a bit of a bind.
Yeah, Skype has its downfalls, but we'll see what we can do in the future.
Yes. So who else we got? Oh, we've got Cyan.
Oh, we've got more?
We've got more.
Oh, I've dropped the ball on this.
Whoa. We got one from Cyan. Cyan loves the show, really enjoying it. Now we keep up our atmosphere while also completely derailing all the time.
Yeah.
And we've got one from No Name. It just says, "Y'all are great. Love listening to your podcast. Can't wait to hear what's coming. Keep up the good work." We think that's Ian. Ian, is that you? Let us know.
Call in.
You
if
said
that's
y'all.
you.
Yeah, call in right now. So yeah, that's the mailbag.
Okay, so I guess we start with another one of our regular topics. Let's do word of the day. What's our word of the day, Charlotte?
Word of the day is cisgender.
Cisgender. Okay, so we throw this word around a lot.
Yeah.
we use it heaps.
We love saying it.
And it's kind of really important, I think, when you're talking about trans issues to talk about people who aren't trans and have a word for that, because it's sort of empowering to do that, because otherwise you just end up falling on that old argument people make that there's trans and then there's normal.
Yeah. Or like trans and then not trans. Like
Yeah.
you just put like an exclamation mark in front of the word or something. I don't know how that works. I'm a programmer, so that's what I do.
I'm not.
But yeah, it's like very important to have a word that distinguishes people from being quote unquote normal, whereas we are the transes.
I think like a large part of my mum fully understanding what trans was understanding what cis was.
Yeah.
Because like I said it and she's like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "It's just a word for when you like identify with the gender you were assigned as at birth." And she was like, "Do you not?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"No, Mum, I
that's
don't."
right.
Yeah, and I mean, like so where the word comes from, it's pretty much the same place as transgender. Cis is the Latin prefix for the same or on the same side of, as opposed to trans, which is across or on the other side of. So basically just means that, yeah, the gender you're assigned at birth matches up to your gender identity.
Yeah. And like a lot of people don't know about the prefix because it's not used that often. Like, how often would you say cis-Atlantic flight? That means you didn't go over the Atlantic.
Yeah. Cis mission.
Cis mission.
Stays on the same place.
That's just like people talking in a room to themselves, right? The mics are off.
A cisfer. You stay on the same side. You stay in the same job, the same position.
Yep. That's Oh, actually, I got cisferred at my job. Like they did some kind of shady, underhanded thing. Essentially, fired all the developers and gave them contracts for the new company. We stayed in the same spot, and we didn't really get any benefits. So I'd say that's a cisfer.
According to Google, cisfer is not a word.
Oh, Google can be shit
You'll
sometimes.
catch up. We're just too ahead of you.
Yeah.
Too progressive. Making up new words. There has been, it's nothing I've ever experienced. People seem to be pretty cool once they've learnt the term and happy to use it freely. But I've seen places on the internet where people act like, "Don't label me, don't call me cisgender, you don't know who I am." But it is really important to be able to define who you are in a way that's equal across for everyone.
The whole cis is a slur thing.
Yeah.
Like people think they'll wear. Like a lot of cis people like to have a little victim complex about it. It's just like just because we've given them a label to make sure that we can distinguish them from trans people, now we are using that label as some kind of derogatory thing. Like we've got derogatory words for cis people. Don't you worry about that, cis people. But cis is not one of
I
them.
don't think there are actually any out there in mainstream society that are derogatory terms for cis people, and that's just because of the way oppression works.
Yeah.
It's not cis people that are generally oppressed. They can be oppressed, but for other reasons other than their gender identity.
Oh yeah, I actually taught someone the term cis recently, where I was getting my face shot with lasers, as I do. I've got beard hair, and I don't want it. I know, right? Like, did you see that photo of my face like a balloon?
I didn't think it looked too bad, personally. Like,
It looked the worst it's ever looked.
it's not bad.
Yours has been worse.
No, mine's been fine as well. But
Okay.
we've talked about this before. Like my hair coverage.
Oh, you
wasn't
didn't
the
have
same.
much. Yeah. I had like a full beard. That was what a time. Remember that? Remember when I was wearing that dress? But yeah, so I was getting my face lasered, and the technician said something like biological female when she was talking about my chest hair or something, and I was like, So at the end of the session, I explained to her the word cis and how she could instead, like, I explained that, like, pointed to myself, like, I'm transgender and you're cisgender. You identify with the with the gender that you were assigned at birth. And she was like, oh, cool. Like, she seemed genuinely happy that I'd told her that, like, it can be offensive to say these things, and here's the actual thing to say. And that was a positive experience.
People who tend to be in the majority aren't used to having to define themselves like that, because it's just taken for granted, or it's a given. So I think it's important that all people who aren't parts of certain marginalized groups can define themselves not as normal, but as not being that particular thing. It happens in I'm thinking of like disability and that sort of thing.
Right.
Discourse as well. That
it just has an effect of like not othering the minority.
Yeah.
Like, why do people have to keep calling me a trans woman? I prefer unregulated femme. That's
unregulated?
Your eyes went wide. I think you thought I was going to say a slur.
Unregulated? But does everyone else goes to the local like gender regulation in this dystopian future? We have crystals in the back of our hands that determine our gender, and then you're a free radical. You've broken from the system.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're causing gender havoc on the masses.
I was thinking more like I am personally regulating my feminist. I've got patches that I can apply to my body, and if I don't apply them,
still, if you don't apply your patches, still femme.
It's true. That's true. I'm just going for the femme look, for the femme face, really. You know how it is.
Aesthetic.
Yep. That is my aesthetic. That's very true.
How long have we spent on the word now?
Oh,
just a little bit.
Too long.
Just a little bit.
It's been too long.
It's an important one. There's good discussions to be had. Okay. How about we move on to our topic for this week?
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. So what we're talking about, making mates.
Making mates.
Making friends with other trans people and networking, connecting, that sort of thing. Does anyone want to talk about
networking? That just reminds me of like LinkedIn and like
it's a LinkedIn for trans people.
And it really reminds me of like baby boomers on social media being like, great to connect with you. That kind of incredibly formal way of writing that like people below that age just don't get because we've grown up with informal communication as text.
My favorite is like when a baby boomer finishes with their name, like it's a letter.
Oh, my mum always does that.
Because it has your name right there.
But I think like I was actually talking about this with a friend, and I think the reason is because they grew up in a society where the only time you had to write something, it was always formal.
Yeah, it was a letter.
Like, and you always signed it with something, or there was some way of knowing who it came from. Like, they don't get that you're in my contact list. You don't have to write "love, mum." Like,
I would appreciate your love, but
like, I appreciate the love, but like, I know it's you.
Give
mum.
me informal love, mum. Just like you're chill, love. Buddy.
XOXO.
Oh gosh.
All right. Does anyone want to talk about their like personal experiences with meeting other trans people, making trans friends?
Well, I know me personally, I grew up in country Victoria and I didn't actually meet anyone else who was trans until it would have been end of 2014 or so when I started going on the internet more and started getting into making friends online, and that's where I met trans people for the first time. I didn't actually know anyone in my area because it was so small and or I might have known people, but they weren't out because it was such a conservative area. Most people went to church and there was only Christian churches and
none of that cool pagan stuff.
And then, I met people online and slowly just started building a network of people who I didn't even know I was trans at the time. But then at one stage I realized I actually had more trans friends than cis.
That's like my realization that like over time, like the vast majority of my partners were trans. Like just like before I realized I was trans, they were all closeted trans people. And then all people who hadn't even figured it out. And then after I realized I was trans, I was just dating trans people and just...
Yeah, it's... I think this is something we'll probably touch on again later once we've heard like everyone else's little stories. But trans people can, like, just knowing other trans people before you come out, there's something gravitating you towards people. There's certain traits that you can see.
That's the transistor inside of you telling you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that is pretty much my experience though. Like, most of the trans people I know, I knew before any of us were out.
Yeah.
We all just were friends. Like,
Really
when
strange.
we were teenagers and shit, and then suddenly everybody came out, and I don't know. I think that's part of the reason why I've never specifically gone looking for trans friends. Like, I've never been all like, oh man, I need to know more people.
Where can I
who
find
have
one of
this
them
experience.
transes?
Because I've like been surrounded by transes
Yeah.
You
in
gotta
that
use
weird way.
Trans LinkedIn, trans network,
Transden.
Transden.
We'll have to start that.
Transistor.
Transden.transgeneral.supplies. Oh yeah, that's right. Go to the website www.transgeneral.supplies to leave us feedback. We didn't tell you earlier when we were doing the mailbag.
Yeah, whoops.
Whoopsies.
Just
So,
edit that part. Put that little part right next to the mailbag part.
Especially the whoopsies.
Yep. Just oops. What?
What? Yeah, my experience with making trans friends. I mean, just kind of everyone. I just met so many trans people through the space, the space at the queer space at our university, that I haven't had to go seeking out trans friends. I've just kind of, like, even before I knew I was trans, I had tons of trans friends. So,
So I, growing up, again, didn't know any trans people as far as I knew. I met a few people as I got older and that sort of thing. And once I came out, I sort of decided I wanted to do something different with my life, and wanted to become a lawyer so I could fight for rights and things, because I'm super idealistic. And so I went back to university, and uni's been the best, most... in terms of community, it's been brilliant. Like, I've met so many trans people, like with all sorts of forms of gender identity and expression, and just to know that you're not alone. And then it was like a really big thing for me about this time last year to be trans, because I didn't really interact with a lot of trans people on a regular basis and that sort of thing. And now it's become so normalized that it makes me feel better about myself. That is just it's not even something I think about so much anymore. And I think that's so important, to just know that you're not alone and share your experiences with other people.
that you're part of this, like, trans caucus, the general council. That's it. That's
The General Trans Council.
the general trans council. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got 9 rings.
The 9 rings to the mortal trans.
Yeah, something like that. 7 to the non-binaries.
Oh my god.
So that means they have 2 rings or something, because they're in both groups.
yeah.
I don't know. Not sure.
Like, who gets the 3 though?
I don't know.
Uh,
Don't know. Haven't figured this out yet. Haven't read the book.
oh, the 3 can go to the LG and the B. Like, they're not that
One
important.
each. One to each. The
Why are they on the
LG and
council?
B.
They're not on the
It's
council.
a different one.
We're just kind of binding them.
I'd like to.
Who gets the one
bind them
ring?
and keep them away.
Good.
Who gets the one ring?
Who does? Oh, that's hard.
Laverne Cox.
Laverne Cox gets it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm happy with that. And then who's Sauron? Do we agree?
Yes.
Can we agree
Good.
with that? Yeah, seems good.
I love this.
Yeah. Or, like, actually, Sauron being one of the Valar, I think they were called. I'm very sorry, all the Tolkien fans, if I messed that up. I know you're very angry right now. Please send us angry letters to
I will
transgender.
not.
What
Lots
about
of
Donald
transgender.
Trump being
What?
Donald Trump?
No, I was thinking
What's
Caitlyn Jenner,
But
because
he.
because with Sauron having originally been good and then turned bad, Caitlyn Jenner had the possibility to have been good, but then awful.
Caitlyn Jenner still has the possibility to be good.
Yeah.
I think she's just
Sauron
going a
could
lot
always
around
turn
of-
back.
But the thing is, Caitlyn Jenner's politics never really changed.
That's true.
But maybe
That's
they
She
fine.
had the same ideals before she came out.
Yeah.
Gay marriage sucks.
Maybe she'll change. Like, I don't know. She must be feeling the pressure.
Time may change me.
I don't really mind, to be real. Like, I understand that she's a damaging presence, but I feel like vaguely in a way I don't want to put pressure on her.
Yeah.
I just want to be
that's
all like,
fair.
you can go and be a bigot in your own time. It's not
We
really
just-
any of our business.
But the problem is that people listen to her.
And the
I
visibility
know, right, but
is
like-
greater than people who are more perhaps deserving to be listened to. So I guess we just like amplify other trans people's voices.
Mm.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's the
probably a better
solution.
idea. Yeah.
Really.
We can hijack the transmission,
Yeah.
like the
we have the power.
Max Headroom
Oh,
incident.
yeah.
You know that one.
I love the Max Headroom incident.
Yeah.
Just hijack ABC.
Big time television.
I wonder if you can even do that anymore. I'm pretty sure television technology has changed.
No, it's
considerably.
digital. There's no way.
You can't jack in.
I don't think so. It's a
You
shame.
could probably create your own channel. but no one would know about it, and no one would have it tuned.
Everyone,
You
tune
could
in.
probably just whisper in a room by yourself, but nobody would know about it.
Transgeneral channel. Dun, 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 dun,
Does
dun,
anyone
dun,
want to talk more about their friends? How did everyone here meet each other? I think would be a cool
Oh,
story, like
Okay.
origin story.
you just wait. That was like a deep, heavy sigh.
I was trying to remember how I met Chelsea.
Oh yeah, that's fair. You told
Do
me
you
how you
remember?
met Chelsea.
No.
I forgot.
I don't know.
Was it at did I meet you before Poetry Slam?
Which part? Like the one that was at Jane's?
Yeah.
I think I just seen you around
I've
a billion
been around
times,
a
and I
bit.
knew who you
Yeah.
were.
Well, I'm pretty sure I knew who you were as well.
Fancy.
Yeah. Oh, internet probably. Like maybe like liking each other's dank memes and stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
My social media presence is my pride and joy.
How the hell did I meet you?
I don't fucking know.
That was
And-
a long time ago.
And then there's all of you who've known each other for ages, and then I'm just
Oh no,
Oh, not really.
I met Chelsea
Yeah.
8 months,
Thereabouts,
eight-ish months
like
ago.
midway through last
still
year.
longer
Yeah.
than I've known any of
A
you.
little earlier.
I just
True.
met you today.
Yeah, I met Shah in January,
Yeah, hi.
and that's the longest I've known out of anyone here.
Now you live in my house.
Yeah.
Trying to think
Really?
where I met Kate. What? I bought a house.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Chill.
I don't live in the house.
Yeah.
Amari lives in the house.
Do you
And
live in your house?
I live in a no. I don't live in my house. Like the house that I own, I do not live in.
Beautiful.
Where the hell?
Look, we met because a mutual friend was trying to date you, and then I
Yes.
came in and dated you.
Holy shit,
And now we're all trans.
Charlie, I'm sorry. All of us are trans. That's so true.
Beautiful trans little love triangle. How old were you at the time?
16?
Yeah, I'd only just turned 16.
Cuties.
What a time.
5 years ago.
That was like 5 years ago.
I was like 14. That's
Wow.
weird.
Yeah.
What a nerd.
That is a little bit scary.
I'm feeling really young compared to all of you.
I mean, I am kind of a bit older.
Just 7 years older.
I don't want to say I'm old because, like, I'm really, I guess, in the grand scheme, not. And any listeners out there, I'm sorry. I know I'm not old.
SARS. That's how we met. Everyone's sort of, everyone has detailed how they met.
Yeah. All right, no. Let's
What?
go into more detail. So I met,
Oh, yeah.
I met Charlotte through our university's queer collective. Yeah. Have you got your story about how you
How about
started, like, coming to that?
Oh yeah, all right. So I started going to the Beers for Queers, and like every time I said that rhyming thing, I shuddered for like months. I couldn't stand it. I
So
Like,
good. Beers.
I
Do you
just
know how I
got,
feel about beers?
oh yeah, I remember. Like when you do your Outback Australian, like drinking beers, rooting Sheilas.
Yeah, drinking beers and rooting Sheilas. Those are the things I like to do.
Sounds like my hometown.
Oh my god. So
A lot of lesbians there.
I wish.
not enough lesbians there.
Not yet.
Do you have plans?
I haven't thought that far ahead.
Plans to propagate? Just go there and form a colony.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people on the internet want, right? Why don't they just go make their own little colony?
Yeah.
Well, you grow a crop somewhere, you've colonized it.
Oh god, don't reference The Martian on the podcast. Not everyone's seen that movie.
I haven't seen The Martian yet.
It's a really good movie though.
I don't
Anyway,
feel like I
back
need
to-
to see it.
Back to what we were talking about.
All right.
Yeah, beers for queers.
Yeah, Beers for Queers. So I started going to Beers for Queers because just I had a bit of like a breakdown. I'd call it a meltdown. My breakdowns are usually more of like a weekly thing. This was more of a meltdown where like over a just sort of my general friend group was already pretty shitty, and then they started treating me even shittier because I was just sort of the butt of jokes because I was some kind of weird feminine person who didn't really give a damn about what people thought about me, so people just thought that was funny. I had like a failed relationship in February of last year, and after that one of the people in the friend group just decided to mock me over it and try and catfish me on a dating site. And I was just sort of like completely done with everyone in the friend group, including the people, like, except for one person, like, including the people that just sort of stood by and let these things happen. So I had no friends, and I decided to, my friend Jasper told me about this thing at the uni that they were going to, and I decided to go along too because they didn't know anyone there, and I didn't know anyone there, so it was handy to have one person you knew there.
They knew me a little bit.
A little bit,
kind of,
tiny bit.
Because we're massive geeks. Shout out to Jasper.
Woo. Hey, Jasper. How you doing? How's your weird, freaky fur clock you've got in the kitchen? Don't put that in your fucking room. I don't want that in the hallway. It's covered in, like, fur and claws and stuff. Ugh.
And you scratched yourself on it.
I did. I scratched my hand on it while I was trying to set something up. Jasper is also going to live in my house. So yeah, I started going to Beers for Queers. At the time, I just identified as, like, I think at the time I was identifying as bisexual, so that was the reason I was there. And then over time, just talking to Chelsea, being slightly less transphobic every time I talk to Chelsea.
Yay! Slightly less.
And then eventually someone just sort of asked me, like, because I didn't get the thing about gender, like, I didn't understand it all because I didn't feel like I was a cis male. And then eventually someone just asked if I was trans, and I was like, holy shit.
Just that whole I think I might be.
Yeah. I was just like, I think my first thought was like, wow, that could be true. And my second thought was, I've been so terrible to my own people.
That is the thing about, like, having and meeting trans friends, is that a part of me doesn't know whether or not I would know if I hadn't have known other trans people.
Yeah. I don't think I would have ever known.
So a big thing for me was I didn't really find the internet's great. Like, we can all agree we've met people on the internet and stuff, right?
Well,
like,
internet. I met Amari on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But especially when I was younger.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah, like my parents
Hey,
told me
look-
stranger danger, but I was like, nah.
It's 2016. It's
Nothing is dangerous in 2016.
No, I mean, like, it's not weird to meet people in real life from the internet now. If you do it the right way and the safe way.
Yeah, if you don't meet them through, like, getkidnapped.org. Is that real?
Let's
Don't
go
look
there.
that
I
up.
wanna get
Don't look
kidnapped.
that up.
I mean, it's probably something people want to do. I've heard about it happening, like rich people paying to get,
Oh,
like, so they can experience it. Like,
That's
how bizarre
weird.
is that?
yeah.
Also, I think it's some people's kink.
Yeah, all right, sorry for kink shaming.
Probably is. One person's immense fear.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing
is the
about
other
kinks.
person's. Anyway, what we're talking about, internet. Yeah, internet's great. But the thing that I had trouble with is still finding anyone I could really relate to. Like, most of the stories I came across, being a little bit older than you guys, basically, like, there was only a few websites for trans women that I came across, and they were all, like, older. And I mentioned this, I think, maybe in the last episode or two, that, like, their views on femininity and things are pretty rigid, that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'm not exactly like this, and I don't feel this way. And, like, a lot of trans stuff was kind of misogynistic, I found, in lots of ways. And as someone who kind of identified as a feminist pretty young, it kind of grossed me out a little bit, to be perfectly honest, to see a lot of stuff with, like, if you don't fit this particular stereotype or whatever, then you're not a real woman. I didn't like that, so I kind of stayed away from that. But over time, I started to be exposed to better representations and more diverse representations of trans people. And one of those places was Reddit. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Reddit generally, but it was better to start seeing more people that were, like, my age and what they did. And I met, or I was at least exposed to a few more non-binary people and stuff, which was great. It made me start to consider that all these things that I'd built up in my head about transness were probably false.
Yeah. Yeah, Reddit was pretty great for me. Like, very soon after I found out, I just went on trans timelines, like, every day, going back through a lot of posts, just being kind of like, I could be pretty.
You know what? I did that a lot too.
Yeah.
There's a certain time now I can't be bothered. Like,
Yeah.
it's not something I'm even remotely interested in, and it wasn't for long after. Like, once I started HRT, like, I don't think I went back onto that page.
Yeah.
I
Now I can just look at myself.
yeah.
Can, like, look at an old photo of me and be like, I am my timeline.
The other one as well is Tumblr. But I kept on coming across the bad parts of Tumblr, like the transphobic parts and the...
I never run into those. somehow.
Yeah.
I was just very lucky with Tumblr because my first experience with Tumblr was a very inclusive fandom. Homestuck.
Homestuck. Please let that be the last mention of Homestuck on this podcast. This is not the Homestuck cast. Amari does several Homestuck blogs. That's that. Continue.
So yeah, the community I met was pretty inclusive and just I was very lucky, I guess, to just be meeting people who were, I guess, positive influences. Because I had been scared to take a look at myself because of the environment I grew up in. It was very, well, as I said before, it was very conservative. And it had made me, because I had known for a long time that I wasn't your typical girl.
Oh, so like you read John Green books? Don't interact with John Green on Tumblr. Holy shit, do not go
Fight
anywhere
him, get
near.
him.
Which one's John Green?
Fishing boat proceeds.
I have
What?
never
That's his Tumblr account.
ever
who is
read
he?
any
Oh,
of
he
them.
wrote Looking
he?
for
Is he
Alaska. Yeah,
Okay.
he.
Okay.
He wrote Looking for Alaska and
Paper
Fault in Our
Towns.
Stars. Paper
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I know
all-
now.
all those I'm a girl, but not like those other girls kind of.
Yeah, and they're really popular.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Like, imagine John Green conventions, just all these girls not like the other girls hanging out together. How strange.
No, but the thing you got to understand about women, Charlotte,
Oh,
is
yeah.
that women are their own worst enemy, and like all the problems are caused by women.
For women?
Yeah.
That's. You're
Anyway,
making that
sorry.
up.
No, it's you've probably seen that argument made somewhere, right? Like, it's like women have to stick together and stand up for each other because as if somehow women are like clawing each other down all the
Yeah.
time because
Like, just
It's
for the
not-
sake of it or
it's
something?
not societal pressure. It's not misogyny everywhere. It's not all of this stuff. It's the women's fault. Yeah. Sorry, I hope that was obvious that I was sarcastic because
For a bit, I was like, is Chelsea being sarcastic?
yeah, I was deeply sarcastic. I'm very sorry if you, yeah,
Oh, my God. That's great, though.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That whole not like the other girls thing.
Yeah.
I come across it all the time in the gaming community as well.
Yeah.
Gamer girls. No, you're not a real gamer girl, and you can't
Like-
be a real gamer because you're like, attractive in the cis-normative mainstream sense. And do cosplay. Like, you can't be a real.
The
gamer,
problem
and
with that being the defense of like, oh yeah, I'm a gamer girl, not like the other ones.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not like other girls. I play Mario Kart.
I play Neko Atsume and I'm fucking proud of it.
Yay!
You're literally describing
I
me.
just prefer stabbing stuff on Skyrim.
Wait, what?
Mario Kart,
Mario Kart?
Negatsume, Sims.
Is that it?
It's where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
You're just a fake gamer mask.
Oh, remember that time that I just completely destroyed you in Rock Band? That was fun.
Oh, I love Rock Band.
I don't talk about Rock Band anymore.
Beatles Rock Band. Loved it.
Loved it. It
That's
was
so good.
I love
good.
the Beatles. Why are you
No, I just
looking at
love
me
that
like
game so much. But every
Yeah.
time I play it, I have these explosive arguments with anybody I know.
Oh my god, fantastic.
So like, I don't
What
destroy
about?
friendships
What are the
over it anymore.
arguments?
I don't
Sounds like
know.
Monopoly.
Yeah.
Monopoly.
Oh, Monopoly. Oh,
I usually win Monopoly. I'm the best at being bad.
screw you, capitalist.
Get out of here. Money bags.
Of course, I did this by stealing from the bank when my sister wasn't looking.
Oh my
You
god.
thief.
That
That
is so
sounds like
capitalist,
capitalism,
though, yeah.
right? Like, if you can get away with it, you do it.
Yeah, that's too real.
This was only me playing against my sister.
It was actually a bailout. It wasn't. It
Uh,
wasn't theft. The government bailed you out with the bank.
yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. We're talking about the internet. And
yeah,
kind
the internet. Yeah, something about it.
In terms of like friends though, because like I find myself often just situated as the trans in a group of cis people. Like weirdly, that is kind of like my social circle.
That is odd.
So like, how do you guys all interact with the cis
Oh yeah.
in terms of being their friends and like?
So people I spend the most time with are my family, my siblings. I see quite a bit, and it doesn't really become a thing because I'm just me. Like, that's not real. You don't really get tokenized when you're in a family. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have all my friends through the local like queer community, and that's pretty great as well. Definitely don't get token there. I talked about this in the last time you were on, actually. I'm into a lot of geeky pursuits and that sort of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I might be the token. I mean, sometimes I'm the token woman altogether, but I don't ever feel like I'm treated like such. To be honest, no one's really that interested. They just want to play their nerdy card games. And I just want to beat them. So that's kind of the most important part. And then my school friends and that sort of thing are pretty cool about it. I don't see most of them as much as I'd like, but I should do that.
Oh yeah, I was watching a speedrun contest. If you know the Awesome Games Done Quick stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like there was someone sitting on a couch. I missed all the introductions, and just later in the thing, there was just this woman sitting on the couch. And I was just like, could it be? And so I just furiously spent like half an hour Googling things about who this person could be, and eventually I found another trans person asking who this person could be, and I was like, yes, like two people might think. And then it was like really cool to see trans people at Awesome Games Done Quick.
Yeah. I love it when I come across trans people when I'm not expecting it.
Yeah. Yeah, like the time at JB Hi-Fi, that was fantastic.
Like in the Magic the Gathering community. It is problematic, I understand, to say that you think you've seen a trans person, because you really can't tell and you shouldn't really say that. But there were at least a lot of people who were gender non-conforming in terms of presentation and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and that was pretty cool to go like, hey, I'm not alone here. There's other people.
Well,
these Grand Prix.
I'm not adding these people. These people are pretty open about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I could be wrong. They might not be trans. But
oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I looked into it.
On the internet.
I looked into these two.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I looked into it. I know they're trans.
No, not those people. Not your people. The Awesome Games Done Quick people. There were two. There was Narcissa was one of them. She's really cool. She had the Zelda Ocarina of Time speedrun for a bit.
Oh,
I
cool.
thought that was awesome.
That's brilliant.
The record, I should say, she held the world record. We're not talking about friends.
No. Token friend.
Oh yeah,
Someone
token
talk about
friend.
that?
Interacting with cis
I'm-
people just in general.
Well, I don't know. I sort of stayed in contact with basically what was my only friend group in high school, just because we used to D&D.
Nerd.
And then at first it was just me and this other girl as the only girls in the group. And then when I came out, there was some backlash from one particular person, who just happened to be an ex. So I don't know if that played any part in it. And yeah, so once we got over that was kind of what made everyone realize, wait, this person's kind of not that good a person. And like the rest of the group kind of took my side in that. And then after that, it really settled down. And
Was the person ejected from the group?
no, but they were told basically to sit down and shut up.
That's a start. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, transphobic people should just kind of... But cis people are not good enough at that.
Something I find, I haven't had a lot of problems with transphobia outwardly, but every now and then people will say something like cis-sexist or something I just don't want to be complicit in. Like, even if it's not to do with trans stuff, if it's like racist or misogynistic or homophobic in any way, it's just like, I don't want any part of this.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, it might not affect me directly in some circumstances, but I feel like I know what it's like to be marginalized and just have to be like complicit for the sake of being polite or whatever. Don't appreciate that. I think that's more a problem when you're with a group of cis people that they don't realize, they don't even think, they don't have to think about a lot of the things that they say.
Yeah, the friend group that I just sort of like, it was sort of my friend group that I've been adding people to, and then it became autonomous in its own way. One of the people in that who I never really considered like an actual friend because he'd always bullied me in some sort of way. But I remember being around 16 years old, and the first trans person that I was... Were they also the first trans person you knew?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He just decided to like mock them for their appearance, just like because they nearly passed, and he could just kind of tell that there's something, and just sort of like mocking them about that. Even being the transphobic person that I was very annoyed and offended that he would dare. Like I did not go in that direction of mocking trans people. Like I was awful in my own way, but that was like a step too far for me. Yeah, that was one of them high school groups. Good old high school groups.
Yay, high school.
Whoa.
Wretched
Faye.
hive of scum and villain. My turn to do a reference. That was Star Wars.
Oh.
It really was.
Nerd.
In terms of like having a lot of cis friends, though, I feel like I don't know. It's a really good feeling when they just suddenly turn around and support you.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my friends are really active in terms of just calling other people out and correcting people on my pronouns and doing all that kind of crap. It's a good feeling.
I'm sort of tired of correcting pronouns and let a lot slide, and I would really like it if more people, stood up for me, because you're with a bunch of other people, and why should it always fall on me to do it? I always find that a bit annoying. So be a good ally and stand in if don't out people though. Like, if it's not a safe place to do it, but if it is and that that's what their pronouns are and what their identity is, please stand up for each other out there. It's hard to do it alone. It's tiring to do it alone.
It's dangerous to do it alone. Take this.
What is it that we're taking?
Allies.
I'm holding up a tanga.
What's
We
a
won't. We
tango?
will continue not to explain that this podcast. Just really letting people discover this on their own.
I'm not really sure that's something that will help.
No, it won't at all.
Maybe it can be like a special ally badge. Take this. It's dangerous to go alone. You can be a special ally.
Don't they badge themselves?
Gold class
Yeah, I
ally.
think so. No, this is the real
Gold
kind.
class.
Gold class is really good cinemas.
In
Yeah,
Australia.
these allies get the best seats. They're very comfortable.
Like we give them an ally card, and that's all they're entitled to, just good seats at the cinema.
You know what? I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, like you don't really deserve much. You're just kind of being a good person.
You get to have the middle seats if you want them.
Yeah.
I'll let you have the middle seat. How
Like
about
you can have the seat without the armrest in between if you have like a partner that you're bringing with you and you want to like cuddle them. That's what we'll give you. That's
That's a huge privilege. Are we ready to give that up?
Such a privilege. I don't know if we are ready to give that up. Actually, we might take that back.
Well, think of something else.
Yeah.
You'll get your reward shortly. We'll post it out in the
A
mail.
singular Freddo frog.
I thought you were
Do
going to
that
say
again.
ferret, and I was like, shit, no.
Roll that back. Do it again.
A singular Freddo frog.
Whatever.
Trying to repeat the
In
dialogue.
fact, I won't even cut that.
So a Frodo frog is a small chocolate frog.
Oh yeah, that's very Australian.
Anthropomorphic
They've
chocolate
shrunk.
frog.
They have. They've gotten shorter and thinner.
They've just been in a pool for a bit. You really don't.
They're a frog. They've been swimming. Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Plus, it's chocolate. Like, it's bad for you anyway. So.
Mm.
Capitalism. It's Frodo Light.
Frodo Light.
It's more expensive.
Oh,
But it's less.
that
It's
sucks.
lighter. It's better for you because
Yeah.
there's just less of it.
Oh. So yeah, cis people, huh?
You're all right.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
sometimes. Some of you are okay. Stop getting hung up on all of our cis jokes.
Yes.
If you're not a bad person and like you don't do these things, ignore it. Just realize we're not talking to you.
We're not talking about you. You're
Sometimes
all
we
right.
are talking about you, but you will never hear it. We'll be whispering in the corners of a room.
It'll be on
That's some
Transden.
Night Vale stuff.
I'm very my entire existence is kind of Lovecraftian, so I've been doing this kind of sort of commentary style thing in what people call a Night Vale way for most of my teenage years onwards. And then people started telling me it was Night Vale the moment Night Vale came out, and I was like, oh god.
Wait, do you write Night Vale? Is this the twist?
No, it's not the twist.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're secretly
But
Cecil
you're
Baldwin.
basically saying you're a hipster and you did it first.
I just did. I just said I'm a hipster and I did it first. No, actually, that doesn't make me a hipster. I'm just like a Lovecraft quota. Or like a
Does that mean you
Lovecraft.
wear a fedora?
Oh! A trilby.
That's worse.
Trilby or fedora, which is worse? Phone in now.
I'm going to say trilby. Everyone.
Fedora's the one with the skinnier brim, aren't they?
No, fedora has the really wide brim.
Okay, then a trilby is
Fedora-
worse because it provides less sun protection.
Most
Yeah.
people call them trilbies when they're
Yeah.
actually... Well, no, wait, hang on. Most people
They
call them
call
fedoras,
them fedoras.
but they're actually trilbies.
Yeah. Like the trilbies are the ones that flip up at the back.
They're definitely worse.
Yeah, way worse.
Unless you're like a 1930s detective in a noir film, you shouldn't wear one.
Oh, that's.
But if you are, you should always wear one.
Oh yeah.
So just check in with yourself. If that's who you are, then
Is your
wear
life
it.
a noir film? Find out.
Find out. You can tell because it's grainy and black and white. It's probably raining. And there's probably some neon.
It was
Lights.
It was probably a bit hard to find the podcast because like the trans flag just looks like black and white. Really.
It was just
Congrats
stripes.
on finding it.
Thanks for sticking with us, everyone who's still
Yeah.
49 minutes in.
Well, I'm actually just running it a bit longer, so I have more to cut out.
You also deserve a special star.
Oh, thank you. Me? Them?
The audience. We're all stars. We're all made of star stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let's get back into the
Let's
Into
just
the-
fly back up into
Physics.
space and just
shine.
shine.
Shine on.
Shine
Oh
bright
my
like a
God.
diamond.
Oh, that song kills me. I don't know what it is about that song, but just sort of, I don't know. That song reminds me of people of like special snowflake stuff.
Do you want to describe what special snowflake stuff is? It's actually kind of like what we were talking about before.
I'd say the easiest way to describe it would be sort of like ascription of certain things that are not that are not distinct and individual, or the creation of certain things that are just there to make you distinct and individual. Like the thing that comes to mind immediately would be the Indigo Children, where their parents were just sort of like, my child is special and has psychic powers, and like created that kind of thing. To I think there's like 50 people worldwide that's like, my kid is an indigo child. That's what I'd call. What would you?
I would say like where I've heard it used in a way that I'm actually kind of comfortable with, because I hear it used against like trans people and stuff like that. It's like, oh, is your gender aren't you so unique, and like really patronizing like that, which I don't think is an apt time to use it at all.
No.
Where I do think it's okay, it's again like when I was talking about the gamer girl thing,
Yep.
and how I'm not like other girls, using it to throw other people under the bus.
It's
for
like
your
a
own
thug
identity.
snowflake that punches people out and throws them under buses. That's
Be careful
Screaming,
with
let
that
it
word.
go the entire time.
oh,
Just a reminder that the word thug is highly racialized in America.
is it?
It's our usage of it here isn't so
Okay.
much, but in America, very much the media uses it to refer to
Screw you, American media.
black men. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really interesting because that just does not happen here.
Yeah,
No, it usually applies to white men here.
yeah.
But that's not the
Good.
case in America. Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about special snowflakes. I don't think I have anything more to add.
That term just grosses me out.
Yeah.
I
Because it's used against
Yeah.
gender. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like, we have a thing in Australia called tall poppy syndrome. It's like if one of the poppies grows above the others, you cut it down so they're all equal.
Mm.
So it's like keeping everyone in line. It's kind of like a little bit of fascism, isn't it?
Mm.
Homegrown fascism.
Homegrown in your backyard. Bit of garden variety
Oh
fascism.
my god. Tall fascism syndrome.
Tall fascism.
Tall fascist. You're going to cut down the biggest fascist.
Cut down the fascist.
Do we want to end the cast?
Yeah, sure. Hey, you've been listening to Transgeneral again. Thanks so much to our guests.
Oh, yes. Thanks to our guests, Samari and Kate. You've been great. Been fantastic at being on the show, being here in front of the microphones. Very handy. Didn't have to point at anyone today and tell them to be in front of a mic. Really big help to me.
Super
I
good.
didn't
I'm
say-
so glad.
I didn't say anyone and point at you, but now I will. Anyone. And if you want to leave us feedback, if you want to send in an email, well, don't send emails. Go to our contact form on the website, transgeneral.supplies, and just sort of use that form because emails are troublesome.
Yeah, and don't forget you can reach us on our Facebook as well at www.facebook.com/transgeneral.
Woo.
Woo.
All right.
We hope to hear from you soon. We'll talk to you soon with another episode.
Yes. See ya. Bye.